I've done a few commercials, theater, and I've also done a feature film.
I was very, very nervous.
Group classes, to improv, to private acting coaching.
Like the key that unlocked the door to something I didn't even know I had.
Step by step, I'm becoming where I really want to be.
The most exciting thing I've ever done before.
I'm now going to Broadway.
I love A-Quest Actor Studio.
I was about to leave to pick up a few items at Costco when my wife called down, "Have you left yet?" That's one of the few questions that I can answer without worried about being wrong. "No, I haven't left yet. Why?" She said, "Well, besides the other items you're picking up, don't forget to get 2 packages of toilet paper. And make sure you get the soft kind, one for the office and one for the house." Well, I went to Costco and I immediately picked up the small items, and then I went over to the toilet paper aisle. And I looked down, and I don't know if it was my memory or if they changed the packaging, but I remember they used to have 24 rolls in a package. Now they have 36, and the packages were humongous. Well, anyway, I was assigned a job, so I would do it. And I bent over, and I picked up the 2 humongous packages. And I put them in my car. And because they were sitting on top of some items that I already bought, I couldn't see over them. So I'm walking towards the cash register, and I'm trying to find my way. And I'm looking around, first to the left, first to the right. And I'm thinking, if I picked up 72 rolls of toilet paper in a supermarket like Stop and Shop, and people looked in my card, what would they think? And then they would look at me, and they would say, "What does he eat?" Well, I finally made it over to the cash register. And when I got there, there's a little sign that says customer, and the other one says card. So I did exactly what I was supposed to do. And I'm thinking, I'm almost out of here. I'll have this all behind me. When I look in front of me, and there is my next door neighbor. She looks around the cart, and she sees it's me. And she looks up at all those packages, and she smiles, and she says, "Good morning." But she knows, because she's my next door neighbor, that only 2 of us live in this house. And when she sees these 2 humongous packages of toilet paper, I know she's thinking, what do they eat? Well, I get home, and that day my wife and I were going to go to the beach. And we still had time to make it out to the sand. We drove up to a Gumpert, Maine, and as soon as we got there, we had the usual discussion. Where should we sit? That's going to be your piece of real estate for the entire bay. Now, I didn't want to sit too far from the main beach because that's where the restrooms were. And I had already 2 cups of coffee and a glass of orange juice. She wanted to sit away from the main beach because she wanted to finish the book she was reading. We compromised. Somewhere a little distant from the main beach, just quiet enough for her to read and close enough for me to go to the facilities. Of course, nature called in about an hour. And I went over to the restroom. And when I go to a public restroom, I am going to make sure that everything I do is meticulous. I wipe the seat with toilet paper. I even throw toilet paper in the bowl so that nothing will splash up on me. And before I walk out, I wash my hands 3 times. And when I get to the door, I open it with my elbow. And I start walking back, trying to remember where we're sitting. That's always a problem. And as I'm walking back, I notice that a lot of women are smiling at me. And I'm thinking, I had worked out this winter. I had played a lot of tennis, and I had done a lot of swimming. And I'm thinking, they're looking at me and admiring the fact that this elderly gentleman is looking very rough, very buff. Well, the more they smile and the more they look at me, the straighter I stand. And I keep pulling my belly in and sticking my chest out, and I think I could be on the cover of Men's Health without this face. Finally, I find my wife, and when I get there, I'm standing like this. I'm posing. I looked down at her and I said, you know, I got a lot of admiring looks. People must think I look very buff. And she looks at me and she smiles too. And she says, yes, Mr. Buff, there's toilet paper hanging from your bathing suit.